Hey everybody, my name is Mariam Kareem. I wanted to give you a little information about sickle cell. I have 30 years in experience, meaning that my son was born with it 30 years ago. Um, I've seen a lot, I've been through a lot with him and learned how it affects him and how the key things to look for. This is for anybody's information, for anybody with the disease, or if you know someone with the disease, or if you have the trait, because this applies to you too. People that have the trait can develop pain crisis and the actual disease. So please listen to this in its entirety. I'm sorry it's a long video, but I had to tell you my story and my experience with it and why you should heed my advice when throughout this video. So he was born with it. He didn't start to develop issues until he was about between 3 and 6 months old. And that was because when a baby is born, they are born with something called fetal hemoglobin, which is a protective hemoglobin, a protective blood type that they have while they are in the womb developing. And once they come out, they start consuming food and other things, then that changes over time. And I asked the physician, what can I do to help prolong this? And they told me to just basically, the breast milk, as long as you can breastfeed him, it helps prolong that fetal hemoglobin. So that's what I did. He was exclusively breastfed. Fetal hemoglobin. So I go and breastfeed him, make sure. So when he reached 6 months of age, something happened and I couldn't breastfeed him my milk depleted a lot. And he started having pain crises. Mainly his pain crisis was pain. Most people have the hand-foot syndrome where their hands, they have pain in their hands because the capillaries, the blood vessels are very small. So when those sickle cells start sickling, they can't, they get stuck in those areas. So for him, that's what his crisis was at that age, and high fevers. He would get, like, one time he got a fever of like 105, and that was crazy. But they usually would give him something called ceftriaxone. I was learning some everything. I was one of those mothers that I wouldn't just sit there and let them do things to him. I would advocate for him. And so, and find out what is this? What are you giving him? What does this do? I would ask. This is my child. I would ask. So when he got to, I believe he was 2 years old, he got something called RSV. RSV is respiratory syncytial virus, and a lot of times it kills a lot of infants. But he got it, as a toddler, and he ended up in the hospital, I believe, for a week, and it was really scary because it was in his lungs, and from that point on, he always had some issue going on with his chest syndrome, which is one of the things the people suffer with sickle cell disease, in addition to pain crisis in the arm, leg, where have you. They even suffer stroke, which he did. He had some of everything that happened to him. He's been on a heart-lung machine as he got older. When he was 8 years old, he ended up on a heart-lung machine because the sickling was taking over his lungs. When we left the ICU unit, they had to put him on a heart-lung machine, and literally fluid was coming out of his mouth. It was so much in his lungs, and they said, we really don't think he's going to make it. Just pray. So we prayed. And he was placed on a heart-lung machine, was on it for 5 days. He was on a system called ECMO. And that's usually what they give to people that have heart transplants, to keep their body going, alive. And so when they took him off, he'd been through a lot. He had had kidney failure, so he had to be on dialysis for that. So many things, behavioral issues, and then the issue with the stroke. Um, so much that he has been through. We found out about, later on, we found out about a tincture that a doctor from Africa had, and it was called diascovite. Um, at the time it was available, I didn't have that much money. You had to buy it. It wasn't available in insurance. So my parents would pay for him to have at least a good 6 months supply, and that was like maybe $100. So we would give him that, and it did help. It did help with when he would go back for his blood test, because he was on blood transfusions, because once you they put you on that, you got to be on blood transfusions. So he was on blood transfusions for several years. Well, maybe not several, maybe 2 or 3 years he was on blood transfusions. He's had a port. Just so much happened to him. The tube inside the port broke, went into his lungs, so another surgery. Had to have surgery to get that out. But after that, they didn't do any more porta cath for that. But I know I'm all over the place with this because I don't want this to be long. But so he continued on the diascovite for a while. Very bitter tasting. But what it has in it is, what is it? So what is in diascovite is something called hydrochlorothiazide. Okay. And so I started looking up foods that contain hydrochlorothiazide. There's a lot of foods. Look it up. Hydrochlorothiazide. Look it up. Millet. Certain grains have it. Cassava. Yams. Sweet potatoes. Yams. You don't want him to have white rice. He has to have brown. He or she or you should eat brown rice if you're going to eat it. No soda. No soda pop. Stay away from soda, junk food, things like that. So it's really going to have to be a lifestyle change, not just drinking a tea. It's a lifestyle change. For him, one of my son's triggers was chocolate. He can't eat chocolate. He can't anything with chocolate. Anything like a lot of sweets and cake has to be limited for him. He also has to drink lots of water. Lots of water. Hydration is a must. If you get constipated, that will throw you into a crisis. Stress can throw you into a sickle cell crisis. This is from my 30 years being with him and learning how this disease is, okay, and how it affects you. I am not a doctor. I am not a medical practitioner or anything like that. I'm just sharing with you my experience on what worked. So he could not have soda. He cannot have excessive sweets, things like that. That will lower his immune system, and also excessive sweets will dehydrate you because it acts as a diuretic. So that can cause a crisis. So you definitely has to have, whoever this person is, if it's you or somebody like me that has trait, gotta have lots of water in your diet, and you have to minimize your stress as much as possible. So what worked? We, as a Muslim, okay, we tried black seed oil, okay, from Amazon. We tried black seed oil from this place called Sweet Sunnah. We tried several different brands of black seed oil. None of them did, they're all diluted. I want you to, that's something you look at the thymoquinone count, thymoquinone count. If it's high, it's a good black seed oil. This is the one that I take. This is the one that I take, and I am a distributor. I'm just telling you, this is the one I take. Okay, this is the one he takes, and I'm going to tell you about this. So last year, and this is just a blessing. But last year, I I'm sorry, it's been 10 minutes, but I have to tell you. But last year, um, he was having a lot of pain issues. Um, Not so much so with it was things that he probably ate, indulged in, or wasn't getting enough hydration. One of the things, and it's a side effect, or it's a what you can tell, but people that have sickle cell disease, the white parts of their eyes, okay, is usually yellow. That's because they're not getting enough hydration. There's too much bilirubin in their bloodstream, and their liver can't process it all. A normal person's blood cell lasts 120 days. Red blood cell, a healthy blood cell, lasts 120 days. A person with sickle cell, their blood cells last 14 days. 14 days. 14 days. So imagine your liver trying to process all of those dead blood cells dying fast. That's why you see the yellows in the eyes. Okay? It's not jaundice. That's just a trait of a person that has sickle cell. But if they are getting enough hydration, the whites of their eyes will be white. They won't be yellow. So that's a good indicator. It's kind of a blessing to tell you need to drink more water. Okay? So make sure, and that's just from experience. Okay? 30 years of experiencing with him, that's what is needed. If your eyes are yellow, you need water. Okay? Now, so back to last year. He was experiencing this pain, and I gave him, I have been involved in a health and wellness company that has excellent, pure organic products. They're very concentrated and they're very potent. Okay? There's no fillers in them. They're just pure plants. There's no extras in it that they add just so that they can make an extra buck. It's all pure. Even the black seed oil that I use has 3,000 milligrams of thymoquinone per 1 ounce bottle. So when I say this bottle lasts a month, it lasts a month because you only need like maybe a dropper full per day. That's it, a dropper full, and I'm going to show you what a dropper full is. This is a dropper full. It's not even full. It's half. It's dripping. But that's all he needs when he gets sick. So what I have him take is when he's experiencing a pain crisis. There's a blood purifier that I give him. Okay, and that's applied on the skin in a certain part, on a certain area of the body, on the bottoms of your feet. If you know anything about reflexology or essential oils applied to the feet, that's what it goes straight to his organs. So there's no need to take it by mouth. But that's applied to his feet. He takes a dropper full of the black seed oil. And he also takes this, which is called fulvic acid. Okay, it's fulvic. He gets 20 drops of this, and maybe an ounce of water. And then he takes something that I give him called the Healing Trilogy. The Healing Trilogy is a synergetic herb mixture. You can take it by mouth. You don't have to wait and brew no tea. You don't. And it's a synergetic mixture that he takes. He takes a scoop of each. There's 3 different, hold on, let me get it. Okay, so there's 3 different ones that he takes when this pain crisis is happening. Okay? He also takes it on a daily basis to prevent any pain crisis. But sometimes he's hard-headed and eats things that he's not supposed to be eating. And he's sitting here right next to me now looking at me smiling because he knows. But this is one he takes. It's called Mind. Okay. The next one he takes is called soul. And the next one he takes is body. He takes a scoop of each. The scoops are very small. Each full-size bag has like 45 servings. So if he's taking it daily, um, if he's taking it daily, um, it will last, your 30 days, and then like the extra 15 is if there's going to be a crisis. So it can last. Really, I get that. Those bags, me and him use it all month, and it still lasts. To be honest, it's a lot in there. It's more than what the serving says that's in there. But there's also a trial size of that. If you want to, if you want some information about that, let me know. But that is the routine that I give him. I give him the blood purifier, which is this. This is the blood purifier. I give him, and these are all available on my site. But and please understand, I'm not here trying to sell you something. I'm just telling you what has worked from somebody that has seen it for 30 years. This is the most effective I've seen of things that he's tried, because there's other things that are out there, that there's another company that has it's in pill form that sells things, and I was giving him that before I started giving him this. I don't even get that anymore, the pill form, because it still didn't help when there was a crisis for him. They would just tell you, take one every hour, take one pill, but it didn't help. It helped diminish it a little, but it didn't get it away completely. When he did this regimen that I have now, it's gone within an hour, 2 hours completely, and it didn't come back. Normally, when you have sickle cell pain, that pain can last for days, even weeks. Days or weeks. This is gone with this regimen, gone within an hour. And I'm going to advocate with my company to see if we can get a bundle put up for people with sickle cell, because this is the combination that I have come up with for him. For this works every time since last year, every single time. And he doesn't get pain crisis often now, because I manage what he eats. He knows what to eat, what not to eat. He knows how much he's supposed to drink per day. So once you get all of that, it can help. I'm so sorry that this was so long, but I to try to sit up and type all of this out would have been crazy. But I hope that if this is for you, I hope that you feel better, and I hope that your road to recovery and maintenance of that feeling good recovery goes well. Also, I said earlier that people that have trait, this is for you too, because I have the trait. Obviously, I'm his mom. I went through an experience. I've always heard that people that have sickle cell trait, when you experience extreme conditions, that you can have a crisis. I experienced that last year, and oh boy, I got a taste of what sickle cell pain is. It is nothing to play with. It's nothing to play with. I went through, I won't go into it, but I went through a very extreme circumstance, and I was extremely stressed. I had so much stress on my body that I could not, it was just overwhelming. And later on that day, my foot started hurting. I was like, well, what the heck? Did I hit it on something? I mean, it was hurting so bad that I could not walk. And I took Tylenol like an idiot. We don't talk about Tylenol, because Tylenol is just a whole nother do not do. But I took that. I was like, what is going on? And it didn't dawn on me that that's what it was. It was a pain crisis, until I took the same regimen I gave my son, and the pain started going away. I was like, oh, So yeah, if you have trait, this is for you too. I would just recommend possibly just keeping, if anything, these two, which is affordable. Each of them are affordable. They're in the $20 to $25 range, $25 to $30 range, but on a daily basis. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, yeah. But it does help. So if you want some information about these products that I talked to you about, like I said, I'm not trying to just sell you something or, oh, it costs too much. There's a way you can afford it if you need to be on it every month, which I highly recommend. You can get with me about that as well. But it's doable, very doable. I have a $25 coupon if you want to try it, get started. There's also a 60-day money back guarantee. A lot of people are not offering that. They're just saying buy my stuff, buy my product, buy my stuff. I offer that because I stand behind it. But there's just a lot of information that you're going to see about sickle cell. Take this, drink this, do that. I'm telling you from 30 years of experience, this is what works. I've 5 instances. He already knows now what to do, what his regimen is, and come tell me when you had a crisis each time when you took these products, did it work?
Yeah.
Did you hear him? Say it again. Say it loud. Did it work? So let me know if you want some information, and I'll send you that. You have a good day.